Hello. Welcome to our Amplified Life and a special edition, just kind of a catch up session. And this is going to be as fun for Amy and I as we hope it is for you, because we haven't gotten to talk and catch up for a while. Things have been so busy for both of us. And so, first of all, we've got to get the complete wedding details. We saw some amazing pictures on Instagram, but just kind of share your favorite part or parts of the day and the range of emotions that you had to go through as your son got married.
Oh my gosh. Well, talk about emotion. Just bringing it up is making me tear up again because it was, you know what? I have to rewind from the minute they got engaged last September up to the wedding. You hear all of these nightmare stories about bridezillas and mother-in-laws and how stressful the process is. And I was so lucky. My son's mother-in-law is just a gem. I absolutely adore that woman. And he is getting the best family. They are fun. They are entertaining. They love my son. And my daughter got to be a bridesmaid. So that meant that we got to be involved a little bit on the other side of the wedding as well, which.
And I have to interject there. She looks entirely too grown up these days, especially all dressed up like that.
Yeah, it's amazing what happens when you take your glasses off and have your hair done, your makeup, and add some heels, and all of a sudden you're a teenager. And yeah, she did. But what I was going to say is they were so sweet to invite us to go with her when she picked out her wedding dress. And, and then the planning moments. I remember when I was getting married, my mother-in-law did this stuff, my mother did this stuff, and I was kind of the messenger between the two. And it was not like that. Her mom and I just coordinated, and do you want this? I'm going to do flowers. Are you going to come? And we really got to just be a team. And I think that's probably my favorite part, just because if it wouldn't have been that, we probably wouldn't have had such a wonderful time the night of the wedding. So I actually hosted the rehearsal dinner up in our building. It's behind our house. And that was just absolutely amazing. A little bit stressful because of the weather and the snow that we had. I was going to hire a food truck, but I had to cater the whole thing. But it was amazing because it was a little bit of us that got to be a part of the wedding. And then the next night they had the wedding at a really formal place over in Park City, and it was absolutely beautiful. We talk about color on this all the time, and you would have loved it because it's your favorite color. But she chose coral to be her main color. And let me tell you, I'm getting goosebumps. When you see the pictures of this wedding and the pictures of her with the flowers and the coral in the flowers, the pictures are stunning because the color just brought everything to life. Now, my dress was blush pink. Luckily, she had shades of different colors that we could choose from because I could not find a pearl pink, which is like a really softer coral peachy color, in anything that I could find. And I was stressed out about that, but I loved having the dress I had. It was really fun. And actually, I wore vintage cabbie jewelry. And, it's just what I had. And I didn't want to go out and buy jewelry just for the occasion when I had some really nice stuff. So I, thanks to Rebecca, helped pick out the pearls I was going to wear and different things. But probably the other fun part, oh my gosh, it was just emotional, but beautiful. I got to see my son just have the time of his life. And this is my son that tends to be a little reserved. And let me tell you, he went out, he danced all night. He would dip her and kiss her and just spin her. And he was in tears the minute he saw her coming down the aisle. And
that is what got me. Just the look on his face when she was coming down the aisle. I was like, oh,
I'm
that
not
is
kidding.
how we all want our husbands to look at
Yes,
us for the rest of
yes.
our lives.
And you know what? I have to compliment these kids. They are young, but they have
Mhm.
known what they wanted, and they have one of the most healthy relationships I've ever seen. I mean, they've been an example to me as their mother of kindness and love and just determined to stay together. I mean, they've had a few, I'm sure, disagreements, but they've never ever parted ways. And they've been together since his junior prom, through COVID, through everything. And they just brought home a puppy. So
Yes,
now,
Jamie is an official grand dog mother,
yeah,
or however you
honestly,
say that. She's got a grand dog.
there was just no favorite part. I don't know if that's actually possible. I didn't think that planning a wedding could be so incredibly busy and joyful at the same time. And I'm just, I don't even want to call her my daughter-in-law. I love my bonus daughter. She is the greatest gift to our family. She
Yeah.
loves Aubrey Lee. She loves us. She's the sweetest thing in the world. And I tend to talk about how grateful I am for her family because I see how much they love my son. And I just consider her mine. So sometimes I forget to say how incredibly amazing she is because she's just my kid, like that's how I feel about her. And so, yeah, it was just, I almost didn't even post anything on Instagram because I didn't do it that day. I was doing it the next day. So I was really trying to just be in the moment, but I had family that couldn't attend, I had two sisters that live out of state, and my in-laws couldn't be here. And I thought, I'm just going to share this all at once. And I knew my clients wanted to see some highlights. So I'm so glad that if you got to see pictures, that you got to see the joy, because it really was the beginning of something absolutely incredible. And yes, the way he looks at her and the way she loves him. And I love that she's a little like, she lets him know what she wants and she is not afraid to say it. And I love that she's a little bit spicy and he just is like, okay, they get the fun out of him. And it's really cool.
Good. Good. Well, I call Kevin's mom and dad my mom and dad in love instead of in law. And so you could call her your daughter in love.
That's what I love that. Thank you for sharing. I'm going to, because
Yeah.
I've never wanted her to feel like an in-law, like she's kind of just mine. So I love that. Okay, Rebecca. Enough
Yes.
about me and the wedding. Let's hear. I know that you have been working your tail off in the heat. So
Yeah.
talk to me about.
Speaking of wedding flowers and coral, I have a big wedding this weekend that she's doing the sorbet colors. So peach and pink and tangerine and just lots of fun color. And I love that she's doing that because so often weddings are the muted colors and a little blasé. I mean, absolutely beautiful, but for somebody who loves color like me, not quite the va-va boom that I love. So it's really been kind of fun. And yes, I have been knee deep in beautiful flowers and weeds. Unfortunately, weeds. Where there is water, there is weeds. And although we have not had a lot of natural water, in fact, we're kind of dried up and burning up. Obviously, I have to water the flowers. And so then the weeds grow too. I don't know why that has to happen, but
Well, everything good comes with a little bit. Okay,
that's
but you also have a really cool event coming up at your flower farm that you are hosting a yoga retreat in your flower farm. I cannot even imagine getting your Zen in a better, more beautiful, peaceful place. So talk about that a little bit.
It is going to be super fun. We've got it's a 4-week series and we're calling it Flowers and Flow. And there's a town just south of us that has a really fun yoga studio, and the gals are going to come up and do that. And we're probably going to do a lot of sweating, but you'll also enjoy some beautiful flowers and a gorgeous sunset. And it's just going to be a great time. I can't wait. People have been asking the last few years to come out, and I've just not been sure how to make that happen. And then I started visiting with Erin, who has the Happy Hippies, which is the yoga studio. And we thought, we'll just do this.
That
Isn't
is
that fun?
such a
Happy
yoga name.
Hippies.
Yeah. I'm going to start greeting you. Namaste.
Namaste. Yes. Yeah. Well, on the registration, I said, I'll be the blonde in the back with the beet red face trying not to toot. So I'm not sure how namaste that is, but
oh,
that's
at least you'll
kind
be
of
outside with the scent of florals. There's nothing worse. Okay, I have to tell you, I don't know if you're aware of what Bikram yoga is, but it's the hot yoga where you go in and they on purpose have it like 100 degrees in the room.
Mhm. Yeah.
And my girlfriend talked me into doing it one time. And I'm sort of anti, until I started doing this Covell Fit, I was kind of anti go anywhere because I have equipment at home. By the time I drove 30 minutes to Park City and whatever, I'm like, I could have so much done in my drive time, like I could have my whole workout done by the time I'm done driving over. And anyway, I go to Bikram yoga, and Park City is very yoga friendly. No, it's really not, Snooty, which is funny. Like you hear about like the Sundance Park City people you never see. Like
Okay.
that's the Snooty part, but a lot of those are the second home owners that don't really reside in Park City. There's actually a pretty cool vibe with most people that live in Park City because I worked there for 17 years. So most of them are pretty chill, but you go in there and they just bear all. And I just remember like it's already stinky and muggy, and like you're in there for an hour and you come out just like you could wring your tank top just wet. And I was like, I told my friend Kelly, I was like, well, that was fun. It was never on my checklist. It's never going to be on my bucket list again. Like,
yeah.
I do love flow yoga though. That's what we always did in our building after our snowshoe hikes. That to me is something anybody at any level can do. And it really is more just about taking in the environment and relaxing and kind of de-stressing. It's not one of those, like, you have to be a yogi person to do. That's the only yoga I actually enjoy. And I think it's going to be one of the most incredible events. So if you guys are in Rebecca's area, you're probably completely booked out already. But if you're
but we may do it again this fall. So there may be other opportunities.
If you're intimidated with yoga or you've never given it a try, anytime the word flow is with it, it's generally like either vinyasa or something that's really easy movements. Yes, you hold them for a minute, but there's a lot of different things that you can do. And it's, I think, the best yoga. For me, it's the only kind of yoga I enjoy because it's not strenuous, and you get to enjoy the people around you. And it's generally a shorter session too. Like, are you doing it for like 30 minutes or are you
going to? It's an hour.
Is it an hour?
Yeah. And so on that, the gals down there do a fantastic job about just really meeting people where they're at. And so if you've never even done yoga before, they'll help you. If you're very advanced, you'll have, it's going to be relevant for all areas. So I'm excited.
You can just kind of be like, what's downward dog? Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
yeah.
Well, I'm so excited to see you very soon. So it's going to be
not long.
No, it'll be
short. Week is right around the corner.
Speaking of, we'll be back. So we're going to kind of wrap this one up. We just wanted to give you a quick insider's peek into what we've been doing outside of Cabby. But we're going to be back and we're going to talk to you all about the season coming up and different things. So we will see you soon.
Take care, guys.